Kentucky Workers Comp Fund Specialist. You don't become a specialist overnight. Just ask Ben Brumley of Cardinal Carrier. Our company has been in business for 54 years.
All right. Hey, everyone. Okay, let's get rid of Loppy here. Nope. Loppy is misbehaving. Hold on. There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm still getting used to the program. I should probably get my main thing off there. There we go. Is my music too loud? I lost my other thing. We don't need to look at that. Now we're gonna do this. Sorry everyone. I'm trying out some new stuff. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. Live from my new setup. I have my green wall here. I forgot about it. I must have gone through some amnesia when it comes to having good quality footage. Let's see who's in here. Hello, Cynthia. Hey, Morg. Glad you like the Loppy load. Load with Loppy, we'll call it that. Hey, Rowan. Hi, Susan. Zero, hello. Cassie! Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Megan, hi. I like the green wall, too. We can do green wall things like float around in outer space and stuff, but I think there's enough stuff going on right now. I think I want this up here. Wait, nope. What are we doing? See? Let me click on the right thing. There we go. We'll put that up top, maybe. So, yes, last week, okay, we had a really interesting live stream last week talking about death, but nothing depressing, you know, like that's usually associated with death. Death more just kind of conceptualizing having multiple lives. And I asked the question to essentially everyone, what is 5 to 10 words you would tell yourself in the future when you're like a whole other person, a whole other persona, and you've reincarnated into a whole other lifetime. So what I did is I gathered all the answers together, and let's see. Okay, good. That one's not. And so I gathered all the answers up into a document, and I'm going to share some of them with you because I think it's really interesting the way some of the people answered. Let's see, where are you guys at? Did I lose you? Digging the jams. Yes, I need to share this. This is my playlist on Spotify. I will share the link to you. It's my quarantine vaporwave playlist. Vaporwave helps me stay chill. Anyways, so the question is, what is like 5 to 10 words you would say to your future self in a next lifetime? And let's start with some of these answers. And I wanted to keep these anonymous. I didn't want to like call anyone out in case they, didn't want to be put on the spot. But if I read off your answer or something and you want to like say, hey, that's my answer, then go ahead, obviously. So the first answer is this person would say to their future self, all is actually eternal, numerical expressions of thought form waves. That's pretty cool. That's very like informative. Let's see. And I'm by all means, I'm not judging these as like good or bad. I'm just kind of like, okay, so another answer is this person would say to their future self, you have limitless potential. Don't be afraid to try stuff. I like that one. I think we could all easily relate to that one. This person would say to their future selves, find the Hyperions. That'd be really mysterious, especially like if you had no idea like what Hyperions were. That'd be that would be very mysterious. Like a call to adventure type of thing. Let's see. This person would say to themselves, love yourself even when you feel no one else loves you, and keep an open... I think mind was supposed to go on at the end of that, but I accidentally cut it off. Let's say, this person says, study the teachings of the Illuminati and Hyperionism, and be kind. Interesting. I only have a few more of these. Let's see, this person would say, fear is the obstacle you must overcome. Awaken, become God. This person would say to their future self, you're divine, and that's it. That's cool. I like that one. Very simple. It's very sassy. Not sassy in a bad way, but just like, you're divine. This person would say to their future selves, don't come back after this time. I almost didn't put that one. The one from that person, I don't think they're particularly Hyperion. Which, you know, makes sense, I think, why they would kind of say that. But that kind of makes me feel sad a little bit. Don't come back after this time. I mean, like, what if, like, if that's the sense, like, okay, you know, you're really miserable in this lifetime, but what if in your next life you're actually doing okay? And then you read that, you're just like, But, I mean, that's no, by all no means a wrong answer. So, let's see, just a few more. This person would say to their future selves, there is no death, you are only dreaming. That's cool. This person would say to their future selves, don't forget, you've done this all before. Huh. Interesting. I try to, like, when I read these, I try to think of, like as if these were something, like, from me. Let's see. This person would say to themselves, wake the fuck up, fool. And then the last one, somebody would say to themselves, it's a trap. So we got some positive ones, we got some informative ones, we got kind of mysterious ones. But, yeah, so there's that. I really liked reading everybody's answers to that question. I think it was really interesting. And there was, like, a few more that I didn't include. I did have some people that, you know, they're like, well, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Do you guys like that you're right here? You can, like, see yourselves. Alright, let's see, I think you guys wanted to get to the critters, yeah? Okay, so in a nutshell, I have a lot of years of experience with hundreds of different types of invertebrates and reptiles. I was really big into caring for these kinds of creatures. It started off as a hobby, it went into like an amateur profession a little bit. I did breeding projects. I was a part of major conventions, a couple of them. I sat on the board of a herpetological society for a minute as a historian, and I, attended a lot of lectures and stuff. Yeah, and I even a couple of times took my critters and did like a educational thing. Once I did for Halloween, brought tarantulas to a natural history museum and sort of put them on the table, and children and parents came by and they got to look at the critters and ask a lot of questions, and I got to educate them. So my love for critters really stems since I was a kid. I really liked them. I thought they were interesting. Things would weird me out, like spiders and snakes and stuff. I grew up with all boys, and all of them were afraid of snakes and spiders and stuff except for me, which came in really handy when I wanted to be left alone. And if I was picked on too much, I would seek vengeance by catching spiders and releasing them into my brother's bedrooms. Let's see, the first experience in snake keeping was with garter snakes I would find, and it wasn't until much later that I found out garter snakes do not live off pieces of ham sandwich or grass clippings. I do not have any snakes I can handle for you, as I have gotten out of this hobby. I have gotten rid of all my collection. It's taken years to do that. I got jaded. There was a inflation in breeding. Everyone became a breeder, and I remember one particular convention I saw entirely too many designer reptiles. Let's see, let's make me big. I don't know why I can't click on my own thing. No, cancel. Cancel. Okay, let me... Why can't I get out of this stupid thing? Okay, there we go. Alright. So, I'm kind of I just realized this probably ain't gonna be the best camera quality, but that's okay. Let's see. Cassie said, what did Cassie says? Cassie says, I'll never forget when we were teenagers and Faith randomly grabbed a snake from someone's lawn. Yeah, no, seriously, there you go. Just like, here it is. I got a snake. Okay. Where am I? Where am I? Where are we? There's so many things to click around. This is so confusing. Alright, so let's see. First thing I'm going to show you is my one of two African giant millipedes. Oh, he's sleeping. They're really sensitive. They don't like being bugged. So here's this, and pardon my shaking. I'm having a little bit of problem with my health today. Nothing serious, but... So yes, this is a giant African millipede, and this is a baby. This is a teeny, tiny little baby. He's really bothered right now. Because he was sleeping in his bed of moss, and then suddenly an enormous giant thing grabbed it. These are completely harmless, and they are completely omnivorous, kind of. They like to eat broken down stuff, rotten plants, vegetation. If one was interested in keeping them and ate a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff, they're really good, because I keep them in a big giant bin like this. So it's like, you feed them good stuff and they'll break that down, and then you can take that soil and put it in your house plants, or if you have a garden maybe. Definitely a bug I would recommend for vegans. And they're really chill. Nothing really, they don't really have any predators. Nothing really fucks with them. As you can see, they don't look very appetizing, and what they do when they feel threatened is they'll curl up into a ball, for one, and then they'll excrete toxins. I believe arsenic in some cases. Imaginista says, do the legs tickle when they crawl on you? The sensation that I would describe of these legs on my skin isn't exactly pleasant or tickly in a nice, like, haha, hee hee, tickly. It's kind of prickly. It's like you take a sewing needle and you just kind of gently press it to your skin. It's like that, only many times. In fact, I've had a couple of moments where I've had him crawling on me like this, and then I get distracted and suddenly he's up on my neck. And that's not a very nice feeling, and you can't exactly, like, pry him off you very well. He's very active today. Should we see if he eat? We'll see if he'll eat something. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me see if he wants to eat something. Alright, I'm back. Now, maybe get like some kale. What do you think? Do you think you want that? Nah. We just want to zoom around. But they like lots of dirt and they like to dig around. I think he's really trippy. I like bugs that look really weird, but they're completely harmless. I wish I had a better camera for you to see detail. Just kind of looks like an elongated pill bug, you know, that you find in your garden. Let's see, do the toxins have scent? Almond, maybe? There are some small wild, hold on. I cut that off. Wild black ones with orange spots that do that. Yeah, there's definitely like a weird kind of like scent. And so like if you ever like find these guys and you pick one up and they spooge on you, don't lick it. That seems like it would be common sense, but this day and age, I mean... Let's see. Oh, Mark says H.R. Geiger bug. I know, right? If only its head would have to be shaped like a penis tip, though, for it to be a true Geiger bug. Yeah, it does. So, yeah, if you get toxins on you or if they excrete stuff in you, just wash your damn hands. Yeah, he's a little bit more chill. I don't really bug my bugs. I don't bother my animals. I do occasionally, obviously, but, you know, it's, people in the hobby of keeping bugs and stuff, like, they'll have different attitudes towards it. Like, there's spectrums of attitudes, and on one end, people really are emotional about their bugs, which isn't wrong, or their reptiles. They really like to give them names, and they like to ascribe a lot of human characteristics to them, sometimes a lot more than what's necessary. Me, I just look at, I mean, for me, it's more, it's just cool. Like, I don't really get into, like his name is Bob, or Gerald, or something, or get all, like, crazy and cosmic with it. Like, his name is Onyx. Like, you know, and then give him a personality and stuff. So he is, like, so when I actually do, like, pick them up or anything or mess with them, it's really perturbing. Like, why? I thought we had a thing. Man, he's really going. Whoop. Full stop. Oh no. You ain't going in my shirt, dude. You just flip a Yui right now. I used to keep, I have another one, roughly the same size. I used to keep them both in the same container, but I had to split them up because they were kind of like, I mean, they're not known to fight each other, but I swear they were fighting over the same piece of food. They, like, were trying to eat the same piece of food, and then they ended up, like, coiling into each other in kind of, like, a very concerning way. So I had to, like, I couldn't separate them for a minute. I had to spray them with water or something and get them so they could, like, release from each other. And so at that point, I'm like, I'll just put them in different things. Airplane! So what do you think? You guys like him? Would you have a pet, Millipede? Now, remember, this is a baby, so, I mean, these get, like, maybe that long. Like, almost over foot, like, really fat, like, this thing will be freaking as long as my arm almost. I love bugs. Like bug ASMR. There's a monad in this. Isn't that weird? There's a monad in there. What are you gonna be next? Do you know you're a millipede? You're a millipede. I don't know, just because these monads aren't as developed as this doesn't mean we have to be dicks. At least that's my attitude about animals. Like, do we really have to be assholes about animals and stuff? Okay, so right now, I'm attempting to get him off my hand. And back into, there you go. And where did your leaf that you refuse to eat go? Here it is. Enjoy. There you have it, folks. Giant millipede. Let me see where you are. Let's see. Chris says probably not. Bugs are cool, but not as pets. It depends on who you are and your personality, because for me, bugs are perfect pets. Megan said, I would consider having a spider. I think that would be my knit leg number limit. There's a limit, people. Limit of legs. Susan says, no. He's cool to look at, but nope. I love it. Okay, so here's the thing, like, because I would do, like, take tarantulas and go to do shows and stuff, like, it's so fun because people are so nervous around bugs and stuff, but they're also very, very fascinated Um, so I mean, like, I had some great times, like, freaking people out. Not in, like, a mean way, but, you know, some people will be, like, leaning in, looking at a container in at a tarantula, and then just kind of, like, do that, like, just, like, on their shoulder and, like, freak out, or, you know, I've had people, like, I've had women, like, it's not just women, but, like, it's men too. It's like they'll put her hand on her chest and, like, back way up. When I was at the peak of my collection, I would get into, you know, contact with somebody over the internet, and typically it would be like a guy, and then they would, for some reason, drag along their girlfriend. And 9 times out of 10, like, this has happened several times, the girlfriends would come in, see all the stuff I had, like all the tarantulas and snakes and, like, lizards and everything, and they would just find a corner or flatten themselves against a blank wall, like, as much as possible. Just, like, super, super uncomfortable. So, but it's also, there's a flip side to that too, because I've been able to help people become more educated about these things, learn more about it, and realize that they're really not that scary, and they deserve to actualize. However a millipede actualizes, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good thinking question. What? Oh wait, I have another book to show you. Like, what? What was I gonna ask? Sorry, I got distracted. Like, what do you have to do as a millipede to advance to the next level? Oh man. Or like a lizard or something. Like, how do you become a fully self-actualized lizard? Or like, if you have to do it again, next lifetime, man, I'm gonna eat so many fucking bugs. Just what did it take for me to stop being an amoeba? A lot of work, man. Remember those amoeba days? Those are the best. Let's see, I'm reading. Chris says, yeah, I love animals of all kinds and genus, species, subspecies. I want to learn about them all. You know, the genus and species is, this is a Grammostola pulchra. This is a Brazilian black tarantula from Brazil. It takes, I'm not quite an expert at memorizing, like, genus names and stuff like that. But I do prefer that. Those do change. They're not in stone. Like, species names, like official species names, like, those can change and morph and evolve. Like, there was the P. subfusca, and then they ended up changing it to, like, 2 separate ones, the highland and, like, the lowland subfusca. Another, like, jumbly tarantula. So, anyways, let me see how this is going to look. There we go. Scoot this back. So yeah, so we have another baby bug, Grammostola pulchra. No. Did I say pulchra before? Anyways. No, it's not a Grammostola. Oh my gosh. I am getting this all wrong. No, I swear. Pulchra? No, it is a Grammostola pulchra. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, points for me. Points for me. Let's see. Cassie says, I love teaching my students about insects and arachnids. I have a whole new respect for spiders after teaching about them. That is so cool. That makes me so profoundly happy. I like it. I like it when people aren't afraid of that stuff. I will say though, I have, like, there are times where I just kill the damn house spider because I just can't even be bothered. So it's not like I'm like oh, everything is precious. It's like, all right, good luck next life, but not these. So this actually is a fairly expensive tarantula. This little guy is maybe 4 inches, 3-4 inches in leg span, so he's still little. These tarantulas take like 8 or more years to mature into adults. These things take forever to grow. It's not like they're like specs for fucking ever. I had a tarantula a few months ago that passed away, and that thing, she was seriously like 35 years old. Some of these species of tarantulas live a really long time. They will outlive you. So please keep that in mind if you ever decide to get a tarantula. Oh, and another thing, if you ever decide to get a pet tarantula, please don't get it from Petco. Don't get it from Petco. Don't get it from PetSmart. Don't get it from any big, giant corporate piece of shit ever. Just don't, okay? Those people don't know what they're doing. They're buying from unreputable breeders and shitty companies. They don't know a damn thing about the care of those things. Like, just don't. If you see an employee in one of those high-chain pet stores, don't ask them about snakes and bugs. They don't know jack shit. Nothing. They know nothing. All they want is your money. So, sorry. That was really passionate. Anyways, back to this. So yes, it's from Brazil. It is expensive. That's because of the market. It is illegal for these to be imported out of Brazil and into the US. So I think that cut off, I can't remember, not terribly, it had to be within the last 10 years, so there was, so pretty much all the Grammostola pulchras are bred within the pet trade, and that's why they're so expensive. Some of these pet tarantulas are hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars, and I have spent and lost hundreds of dollars in this hobby over the course of years, so also keep that in mind. Let's see. Chris says, I think spiders are cool, cute. I think spiders are cute, but they give me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah. I guess for me it depends on the species of tarantulas, because there are species of tarantulas that are mean. I will say that. Some people like to argue, like, no, they're not aggressive, they're defensive. No, I've met some mean fucking tarantulas, mean ass spiders, like they will come at you. But I'm talking like balls deep in the jungles of Africa, alright? We're talking like arboreal, like super brightly colored, like peacock looking, like crazy fast, jungly tarantulas. Cynthia asks, does keeping them in a smaller place affect their molting and growth? No. No, not at all. No, but that's a good question, because you can dwarf reptiles, and I don't recommend it. I've seen some really sad turtles. So the thing about this Grammostola pulchra is that I haven't handled this, and I don't mean as in the species. I mean, I have not handled this particular spider, so I actually don't know how he's going to be. He could be very much all over the place. So we'll see. We'll find out. Maybe I'll get a bit on camera. That'll be nice. How are you gonna be, dude? Alright, come on. This particular species is known for being really docile. Docile. And again, sorry for the shakes. I'm struggling with my fibromyalgia today. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. It's been a rough, tired day. So yes, this is, let's see, where am I at? Grammosola pulchra. Juvenile. So he's being really cool with me. So depending on the species of tarantula, it could or could not be nice. The New World species of tarantulas tend to be more docile. And by New World, I mean like American continents. So like Northern America, South America. Old World species of tarantulas are, you know, old continents. Asia, Africa. Old World species. Old World species, you know, super jungly, lots of competition, everything's out to eat each other. Whereas, like, these guys, I mean, there's not really much competition. You know, it's kind of funny on that note. I just want to say, just like, I've always found it interesting that pretty much, at least in my experience, everything, reptiles and invertebrates included, everything out of Madagascar for some reason is just way chill. Like, nothing eats anything over there. Everything's just like, meh. He's fuzzy. So what they do as a defense is they got hairs on their butt, and if they're annoyed, they'll take their back legs and they'll kick off and flick the hairs on their butt at you. And these hairs, they're just kind of irritating. Like, if you're an animal trying to eat it, you get it in your face, you know. So they just straight up, like, flick their booty hairs at you. So normally he doesn't, like, kind of, like, walk like that with the weird legs. Like, he just kind of does that. So he's doing this weird thing. I've noticed that sometimes when you handle tarantulas, like, they are touch sensitive. It knows it's on a hand. And I'm sure the breath from talking is kind of disturbing him as well. Where are you guys at? Susan, why? Okay, no, little spiders. Okay, I get that. But no, why is the millipede creepy in this? Like, this is more creepy looking, I think, than the millipede, baby. I don't know. I have less of a problem with tarantulas than little house spiders, too. I don't appreciate skittish surprises while I'm sleeping, while I'm minding my own business, while I'm on the toilet, or, you know, crawling on me. Like, I just don't appreciate that. Hey Arjun, how you doing? It's good to see you. Faith is the new Billie Eilish. You know, I'm so clueless about Billie Eilish. I'm clueless about a lot of things, which is funny because I'm into pop music, but like that love goes up to like the late 90s. He's chilling now. So going back to that one thing I said about some, you know, how there's different types of attitudes towards having pet bugs, and it ranges from people just liking them as like me, like this is a specimen. This is an interesting creature. This is, you know, this is a creature that requires a specific kind of care to, you know, thrive and self-actualize. Why are you webbing me? It's got sticky web. I don't think you could see this. Butt string. Oh, but yeah, different attitudes. So for me, it's like, hey, this is a cool monad, like, in this cool avatar that needs a specific, like, kind of environment to, like, thrive and be happy. And then there's some people who like to ascribe lots of personality to them. You know, they like to give them names. And I get a little concerned with people who do that to tarantulas, because they're like, oh, its name is Muffin, and I like to take it for walks in the park. And to me, that's just weird. Don't do that. It's a bug. Like, it's essentially a pet rock. I mean, I'm not saying you can't enjoy your name or enjoy your pets. I just, I don't know. Some people are just really weird with their tarantulas. Like, to me, it's like taking, like, I'm gonna take my fish out for a walk. Like, you're gonna what? And people, I kind of use that too, like, for me. Cause some people ask me, like, what's the point of having a rattlesnake if you can't ever, like, hold it or touch it? Or, like, what's the point of having this bug if you can't touch it? It's like, well, what's the point of having fish if you can't touch them? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, can't I just have stuff and like it to like, look at it? Let's see. Webbing for security. Probably. I am kind of moving around. Susan would totally give it a name if she had one. You know, I think that's awesome. Like, and that's totally makes sense. Like, if that, like, you just have like your, like, this is my tarantula, like the tarantula. For me, the hobby just got like so overwhelmingly large that it really was like down to the specific species named. But yeah, see, it's like, it doesn't do anything. He's a pet rock. I don't even know if it's a male or female. It doesn't matter anyways. I hope you guys like my bugs. I do have more, but I thought I would keep it, like, simple. That, and so I could, like, spread it out. Bugs are also my failsafe if I don't know what to live stream about. Bugs! There are some crazy tarantulas that are super, like, blue, purple. Alright. I think I'm gonna put him back. I'm gonna... You guys can maybe watch. It's like... It's a little awkward. There you go. Oh, sorry. I spooked him. So he just stays in a little container like this. These are burrowing tarantulas, and so it seems like one would look at this and be like, oh my god, that's so cruel, you're keeping it in such a tiny cube. Like, no, they like this. They like to web their own little hole, and they stay in there, and then I come and I open the top and I drop in food. Food goddess. They don't need to look for food. And like I said, these are illegal to import from Brazil. So these only survive in the pet trade. And that's such a... You know, there's so many exotic bugs and reptiles that I don't think should be in the pet trade at all. But unfortunately, they are. And I think the best solution for that is to emphasize on education and proper care rather than... putting bans on things and more restrictions. Those are still needed. Like, there should be more regulation. But it's, I don't know, it's I want both. I don't want people to have access to these things, but there's a lot of these things that are already here, so I want better education instead of punishment for that. I know there's I can't remember what particular type of tarantula, but I believe it is essentially like so endangered. Its natural habitat it was like a small island somewhere but their natural habitat was so developed by humans that they essentially only exist within the pet trade. There are situations like that, so it's that. I wish the regulations would come in to help and educate people, because it's like when you adopt a cat or a dog, you have to sign a document, right? Like it's an adoption, but you can go to a big chain pet store and just buy a live animal. It's a snake or a tarantula or a bug, and you're not given any education. There's no mitigation of that. It's just a free-for-all, and then these animals get abused and overlooked. There's so much abuse. I have had, when I was at the peak of the hobby, I had a number of people sort of drop off their sick, unhealthy animals to me, and they were sick and unhealthy due to neglect, or by purpose, or just sheer ignorance. They didn't know how to take care of it and weren't really that interested. There's a lot of occasions where, it's like a mom would drop off a snake because it was their son's pet snake, but now they're off to college or something like that. Or parents will get these animals like reptiles or tarantulas or something for their kids, and then it doesn't work out in the long run, and then they try to, bag it on somebody else. But bearded dragons, for example, that's a pretty common lizard in the pet trade, but those need a lot of calcium, a lot of nutrients, and especially a lot of UVB sunlight in their early years. People don't do that. They don't take the time to give them the proper nutrients and care, and then they end up developing a really serious bone disease. So it's just, when it comes to having exotic pets, when it comes to, like invertebrates, reptiles, anything like that, I'm very passionate about being informed and aware of everything, because these are not an accessory. Ever. They are not an accessory, and I am very judgy. I do see, like, cool gothy people that get the snakes, get the tarantulas. You got the hot gothic chick holding the ball python up, kissing it, I'm such a bad bitch. Yes, I am judgmental about that. I'm not saying that every girl that posts, or every gothy person who posts a picture with, like, a tarantula or a snake or something, like they're all assholes like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's like you can tell when somebody's passionate about the actual animal, and when somebody just has a thing, like an accessory they name. So let's see. A rolling ball device filled with water that you could walk a fish. That'd be interesting. Let's see. Susan says, what was the one that is super aggressive that the one guy was teasing and got bit? Oh, that particular tarantula. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm wondering if I could just pull the video so we could watch it. Oh crap, I just resized myself. That was weird. I'm all weird and skinny. Okay, so yes, the kind of tarantula that the guy I'm talking about, there's a video on YouTube that's, okay, I'm not fiddling with that anymore. We're not looking at me, we're looking at other stuff. So let me add... Let me add a web page, hold on. Web page. Browser? No. What am I doing? Web. Okay. Give me a minute. Hold on. I never know what to do. There's so many things. Okay, is that it? No, that is not it. Duh, hello. There we go. See, I'm getting the hang of this. Except for I lost my little chat box. That's okay. figure that out later. I'm gonna get rid of that. I am gonna put me back in my base folder. Okay. So, no, I want to find that video. Okay, hold on. This is a perfect example of what not to do. Bitten by OBT. So there's a particular tarantula called a P. murinus. P. murinus is the P. murinus. P. murinus. P. murinus. That is wrong. Spelling. That is right. Let me make sure this is showing. Okay. So this particular tarantula, I don't have this now, but yes, I have kept these. Tyrannoculus murinus. I just call it P. murinus. Among the trade, we call it the OBT, which is short for orange bitey thing. As you can see, these tarantulas are a bright, brilliant orange. They are extremely pretty. And they're extremely angry. They do not like to be messed with or touched whatsoever. So there's this okay, so this guy's got like a critter keeper, you know, with like a little bit of a little latch lid on top, and it looks like his orange bitey thing has been in there for quite some time because it's got a big thick web. And so this guy is gonna start like just poking at it, and these things, they'll rear up when they're mad and they'll flash their fangs, and then they'll strike like at pretty much nothing. Like, you could blow at them and they just like really fucking quick. So see, he's trying to tease it, and I've done that before, like in containers where I kind of press it through the plastic. But this guy's showing off. This is showing off. And then, yep. 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 Yeah, you know. Okay, see that blood? Sorry if this is too graphic for you. I mean, those are really large, curvy things that go in and scissor into your flesh. So, Susan, I'm glad you brought that up. So that is, like, what you don't do. Don't do that. You get and the thing is, you'll get those guys that, and I don't mean like guys as in men, I just, guys, like, you get these guys that just, they get a little arrogant, cocky or something, or they like handling really aggressive stuff because it's like a ego boost. It's an ego boost when, like, say, for instance, you have a particularly nippy, aggressive snake, and then you're able to, like, deal with it and handle it, you know, unscathed. Or, like, you got a really, like, bitey tarantula and you're, like, poking at it, like, but then, you know, like, that's just total. I don't do that. I don't fuck with my shit. And it's, like, people who keep rattlesnakes who, like, have to handle them, have to pick them up, have to touch them. That's exactly how those people get bit. And that's why, when it comes to rattlesnakes especially, if anybody was to ask me, hey Faith, should I get a pet rattlesnake? I would say, hell no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no. Lots of no's. Because, you know, it just, like, you fuck up. And when you get bit by a rattlesnake, that's, like, that's a lot of money. I mean, we're talking, like, like, I don't know, like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, like up in the 100,000 type of hospital visit when you get bit by a rattlesnake, because a lot of the times it doesn't take one vial, it takes multiple vials, and each vial costs like, what, 1,500 or more? Do the math. If you need like 20 vials, please don't get rattlesnakes. Please don't get crazy wild animals. Unless you are experienced, and if you do, don't mess with them. I lost you guys. Where'd you go? So we take that. I'm gonna find you guys. Insane pain. Yeah, that guy was, like, if you watch that video, you'll listen into that guy, he's like, the pain is so insane, because it is, and when you get bit by a tarantula, there's nothing you can do. You can go to the hospital, and they can go, great, here's your antibiotics, good luck, but it's not like you have antivenom for tarantulas. There's not a deadly, tarantula where if you get bit, you die, unless it's, like, a crazy case where you happen to be allergic, or, like, there was a case where a child died because they got bit in the face by a massive tarantula. I mean, that just weird specific incidences like that. But the pain, depending on the species of tarantula, people have described, like pains, like it's just like searing, burning pain. Like, I've heard things described in such a way, like immersing your hand or your limb in a boiling vat of oil, but not being able to like take it out. So if you can imagine, like, your limbs burning and, like the tip of your finger, like, sticking it in hot, like, bubbling oil and not being able to take it out. Like, that kind of pain. If I got bit by this little guy, like, if I made him upset, I'd have, like, a nasty, itchy, painful, burny thing, but I'd be okay. I don't think it would be quite as bad as the OBT. The OBT is an old world species. Remember, we talked about the difference earlier between New World and Old World species. Do you guys have any questions about stuff? I thought for sure my bug show would take maybe like 15-20 minutes, but it ended up taking essentially our whole show time, which is okay because I love my bugs. I could sit here and talk about these old things all day long. This again. Do you guys like my new like layout thing I got going on? I think maybe next week we should, next week, because we didn't really get to the artsy part next week, we should play with green screen. We should just, no, I'm talking like, let's eat lots of candy and get hyper, like, let's get crazy next week and just have a barrel of laughs. If you want, I don't drink, if you want to drink, you can have some drinks, maybe if you want to get stoned or something, but I think next week we should have, like, a little Dionysus hour. Like, with a green screen, we'll put on some, like, ridiculous stuff behind me. We'll travel through space. I want to do that. I want to be ridiculous next week. Maybe we'll look at ridiculous weird stuff. You know how there's very bizarre... Okay, so I am a lover of weird, bizarre, experimental videos and things. So in addition to playing next week, let's see. I hope you guys will be into this. What do you guys think about this? What if some of you just randomly send me video links or picture links of just weird stuff, bizarre stuff, like fun, bizarre stuff, not disturbing. Like, don't send me pictures of dicks, please. It would be cool if some of you could send me just some, like, weird, like, kind of strange, like, comedy, maybe. Not like skits or anything, but like actual weird ass stuff. I think that would be cool. Like artistic weird. Like if somebody mashed nylons over their head and like drew on it and like did a weird experimental video or something. Or like, you know how like there's commercials that have nothing really to do with the product, but they're extremely bizarre, and you just like, you watch them and then you kind of leave the commercial feeling strange about life and yourself. I think we should do that. I'm gonna find some weird stuff too. Maybe we'll tread on the border a little bit of scary. I think not gross, disturbing, but just like a little scary. Just kind of like maybe a little bit of like, I don't know about that, and then we'll go on. Weird. Are we all down for a weird Dionysus green screen fun hour? Weird Dionysus happy fun green screen hour. The drunken on drugs happy fun time green screen hour. Yes! I knew those yeses would roll in. I was waiting for it. Yes! Okay, so next Wednesday, have a couple shots, take a couple tokes, because we're just gonna be fucking strange as fuck. Bring your weird hats. Bring your weird hats, yeah. Okay, my lovely dreamy little dreamers. My dreamy little dreamers. Dreamy little dreamers. Let's call it a day. Thank you so much for coming to my live stream. I'm really enjoying these, and it really means a lot to me that you guys are attending this. The pandemic is still going on. I'm kind of locked down where I'm at. I can't go out and socialize with people in person, and being an extrovert, it really hurts. You know, I'm really grateful to have the internet to socialize with people with. It's still kind of not enough in a way, because it's like breathing through a coffee straw all the time. But I really appreciate that you guys have joined me in these live streams, because it makes me feel really good. Like, and that just, it's helped me a tremendous amount dealing with this, being an extrovert and having to stay isolated and not being able to like really be in contact or like interact with people in person like I really love to do. So thank you so much. So yes, next week, Crazy Dionysus time. Stay safe, wear your mask, all that stuff. And most of all, stay awake out there, alright? Remember, you're not alone. Alright, my dreamers. AFK out.